Reading class, lesson 4. Did you enjoy the story? I know I did. I love this story. I love stories about different countries. And this story is about India, and I'd love to go visit India someday. I'd love to see the Taj Mahal. What did you like best about the story? My favorite part was when Kara started for the missionary's place. She knew that God was going to answer her prayer. She had a lot of faith in God, and that was my favorite part. What problem did Kara have? She had no home, and she was going to be sold for a slave. That would be awful. What problem did Sister Mary have? She had a problem too. She had a problem. All the huts were full, and she did not have enough money to build another one. What happened to solve both Sister Mary and Kara's problems? You remember? Someone sent money to build another hut, and then Kara could come to the mission. Wasn't that awesome how God answered their prayer? Today I want you to practice on pausing at commas. You have lots of commas. That first sentence, you have lots of commas. Remember, a period is like a stop sign. Stop. You have to completely stop. A comma is more just like going around a curve. When your mom or dad drive and they go around a curve, they slow down a little bit. Or when you're on a bike and you would come onto a curve, you would slow down a little bit. That's how it is for a comma. You slow down a little bit. So you should read it like this. Please, 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 Sister Mary, take me with you, begged Kara, instead of reading it like this. Please, 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 Sister Mary, take me with you, begged Kara. It's even hard to read it like that, right? So you have to pause a little bit when you get to a comma. So practice today because you have lots of commas in your story. The story question is, why did Kara start for the mission village? Why did she start out? She believed God was going to answer her prayer. How was life different for the girls at the mission than for slave girls? They both had to work, right? But they had, at the mission, they could go to school and they'd have enough to eat. And most important, they would learn about Jesus. What was the first thing Sister Mary did after she read the letter from America? She went to her room and thanked God. Very good. It is time for you to find someone to read your story to. How's your reading going? Make sure you don't just read your reader. Make sure you read other books as well. The more you read, the better and easier second grade will be for you because you have to read lots in second grade. And if you read slow, it's going to take you longer and you're going to be done last instead of first. But the more you read over the summer and right now, if you read in the evening, the more you read, the faster you'll become at reading. So read, 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 read. So go ahead and read that story to your mom or your dad or your older brother and sister, whoever you find to read it to. Kara lived in India. Some things were different from where you live. Some things were the same. So in other countries, sometimes they do things differently than we do here in our country, and sometimes they do things the same as we do. Now, I'm going to be showing you some pictures that Kyra took when she went to India. And remember the pictures I showed you yesterday of India. A, if the sentence tells something that was different from where you live, circle different. If it tells about something that is the same, circle same. Let's do the first 3 together. Girls work in gardens. Do you work in a garden? Yes. Do girls in India work in gardens? Yes. So are they different or same? Same, of course. Number 2, some girls are slaves. Are there slave girls here in the United States? No. What about India? Yes. So are they different or same? Different. Number 3, Christians tell about Jesus. Do we tell people about Jesus? I hope so. What about people in India? Do the missionaries tell other people about Jesus? Yes. So we are the same. Very good. Do the last two by yourself. B, underline the main idea of the story. Remember, the main idea is what the whole story is about. What was the whole story about? We learned a lot about India, but that wasn't the main part of the story. What was the main part of the story about? Possible or impossible? Something that can happen is possible. If something cannot be done, it is impossible. The story does not say how far Kara lived from the mission home. We know it was not 100 miles. It would be impossible for Sister Mary to walk 100 miles in one day. What about, do you think this is possible or impossible for me to do? To eat 100 burgers for lunch. Impossible. To eat 2 burgers for lunch. Possible. To swim across the Atlantic Ocean. Impossible. To jump over the moon. Impossible. To know all my math facts in 1 second. Impossible. To learn your math facts very well. Possible. To learn how to read very well. Possible. Okay, go to C. Circle possible or impossible. Possible is something you can actually do. Impossible, you can't do it. It's not possible for you to do it. Letter D. Why did Kara start out walking? Write words from the box to finish what she said. Go ahead and do number 10. The verse. If we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. 3 times. If we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. If we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. If we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. Remember, God hears our prayers, but he does not always answer the prayers the way we want him to. Remember what we talked about on Friday? Sometimes he says yes, sometimes he says no, sometimes he says wait. And sometimes maybe you ask your mom for candy. Maybe you say, Mom, I want 100 pieces of candy. Your mom might say no because she knows it's not good for you, right? Same way with God. Sometimes he says no because he knows it's not going to be good for us. If your mom would give you that much candy, you would get a tummy ache. And then it would be actually a bad thing for you. So that's why we need to ask according to his will instead of just what we want. We want to ask that it's God's will, not just our own will. I want you to say the verse to someone. Go say the verse to somebody and then have them sign it. God can answer any prayer, but we should not pray for selfish things. So if somebody's sick, God wants us to pray for healing. But what about if we just want a $100 bill to go spend it on a toy? Do you think that would be a selfish prayer? Yes, because it's just something we want. It's not really something that is necessary. It doesn't mean we can't pray for little things, but we wouldn't pray to God and say, God, please send a $100 bill down out of the sky, right? Okay, let's go to E. Cross out 2 prayers that are selfish. Remember what selfish is? It's something that you just think about yourself. Let's go to F. Think how the first 2 words go together. Match the bold word to a word that goes with it in the same way. The corn and a husk. The corn is inside the husk. You remember if you take the husk off the corn when you have corn on the cob? Now, where are beans? Where are the beans in? Fish have fins. What do birds have? Good job. You don't have any we remember today.